hours, more, maybe 40 hours of material that he shot. And every time I was in stitches or I was tearful because the emotion in it was so powerful, I could not leave the subject alone because I thought it was so universal, because there you have a man stripped and expressing, and nothing is a lie in it. It is, you know, who he is, and it is so, in a way, universal.
Honesty is the word that he used for not telling lies, but then that is evident on the edges of every frame which is projected yesterday, because while it was reeking with a solitude, you also made us through the soundscape feel that there are 1,000 stars, and that's you had actually used that starry, under that starry sky in the nights, and the life bustling, you know, like around more than 25,000 other living beings which are constantly coming to attack or coming to, you go underwater at some point of time and then you show. That is where we have this magician, a person who stitched this narrative with his own visuals. As a cinematographer, basically, did you also go through the images that you've shot at that point of time, and did you fill up the gaps, or there was a narrative according to which you shot the, because whatever he shot with a on a crudely, on a Hi8 or other cameras, you know, like to fill that up, we
back then, we've been friends for a very long time, and just when she started, you know, she started speaking about the Hi8 footage, probably in the mid-2000s something to me. And then she showed me some of it, and it was just so compelling. So essentially, as a person that's trying to capture Eve's story in now, what you need to really do is try and bring that atmosphere across with you know the kind of technology we have today. So, you know, how we're going to actually meld that Hi8 footage, the Betacam footage, which is all like 4x3, with the widescreen stuff, we didn't even think about. But we knew we had to have the widescreen stuff because, you know, that's what people want to see. And they were able to, and through, you know, us going there, we only managed to get there twice. It's a very, very difficult place to get to. It's 100 kilometers north of a place called Lüderitz. It's right on the coast island. It's like 800 meters from the coast, but between Lüderitz and a town called Walvis Bay, which is 300 kilometers up the coast, there's nobody. There's absolutely nobody. So to get there, you have to go on a research vessel or you have to go on a supply ship, and they're often not working. And you can't get there either if the sea is not completely flat, because there's nowhere to land. There's no beach, there's no pier, there's no nothing like that. So we had to wait our time to get there, and we only had, unfortunately, I think 2 batches of 3 days, was it? Yeah, because if we'd missed the time to get off, we would have had to have been there another month or something to find another window to get off of it. So we had to work fast, and obviously having seen Eve's footage, you're trying to actually imagine that fitting into the footage that you are shooting, like the high-res footage that you're shooting then. So establishing the island on drones and, you know, obviously the birds, you shoot a lot of birds. But also, you know, there were a couple of narrative arcs that we knew were happening, and we basically just concentrated on those when we were there. I think we kind of managed to get it.
You mentioned doing music for the shorter version, and then
music for the first film that we made, and this music was composed by Rebecca Carrigord. So it was a woman from Norway. She's Norwegian but lives in Sweden, and there's also a lot of sound design, and I made sure that the dimensions of that it wasn't wall-to-wall music. So we pulled out so much music from what there was initially, you know, just so that bird life could be felt. I mean, if I could have, I would have made it even more intense, but you can't, because when you're there and you are like we were, it was incredibly powerful, because you're feeling all these beings, all these beating hearts, this plumage, everything. It's like I had this epiphany there where, I just got this sense of vibration, and this whole place is just going like this constantly with all the birds, and the energy of it was absolutely riveting to
Hold
draw
back.
it back.